What is up, Internet? This is Blindsight. Today, I want to talk to all of you about a little project that I'm working on in Unreal Engine called Project Blindfold. The goal of Project Blindfold is to add accessibility features to Unreal Engine so that blind and low vision people, such as myself, can make games in Unreal Engine. Let's jump in. Now, the first thing that you guys might be thinking is, well, how the hell do blind people even use a computer in the first place? Glad you asked. So, I am legally blind, and I'll leave it to all of you smart people to figure out why a graphical part of a graphical user interface isn't too useful for me. On the other hand, what is super useful for me is something known as a screen reader. And all a screen reader is a program that announces information about graphical elements that are currently on screen. Let me just fire up Mac's own screen reader, and I think you'll be able to see what I mean really fast.
Voiceover on Xcode, as new project wizard.cpp window, toolbar. You are currently on a toolbar. To interact with the items on this toolbar, press caps lock, shift down arrow.
Now, as you could hear just now, the screen reader announced a ton of information to me. It told me, hey man, you are currently in Xcode, that's the application, you're editing this file, you are being currently focused on the toolbar, and to interact with the toolbar, you can do these certain actions. So it's effectively a really concise way of telling me, this is where you are, this is what you can do, now you can explore a little bit. So let's do that. I'll kind of walk you through my thought process and how I use this. Also, if you haven't already noticed, screen readers do tend to get a little chatty, so I'll be cutting off what they say once enough information is provided for me so that we don't lose our minds. Okay, so let's start exploring a little bit. What do we got?
Full screen button.
Full screen button.
Minimize button.
Oh, minimize button. That means I'm probably like the top left corner of the screen. Let's jump back to the toolbar.
Full screen toolbar.
Alright, so now I'm at the toolbar. What's inside?
In toolbar, 7 items, run button.
Alright, so there's 7 items. I'm on a run button. What else is there right now?
Stop button.
Alright, there's a stop button.
Scheme, list 0 items selected.
Scheme? What's in here?
In scheme, list 0 items selected. UE4, active scheme, pop-up button, 1 of 2.
Alright, so that's the active scheme, and this is a list. Let's see if we can change the scheme to anything else.
Menu 3 items checkmark, UE4, submenu. Blank program, submenu. Bootstrap package game, submenu. Build patch tool, submenu.
Etc., etc.
Press, UE4, escape button. Closing menu, UE4, active scheme.
So yeah, that gives you a rough idea of how I use a screen reader. It's basically a digital way of feeling my way around a dark room. So that should give you an idea. This is how blind people use a computer. Now, unfortunately, there are limitations to screen readers. Now recall what I said a screen reader is. It's just a program that announces information about graphical elements that are currently on screen. Now there's a catch. The screen reader has to be able to recognize what that graphical element is, and the graphical element needs to tell the screen reader, hey, these are all the things that are associated with me, read this out. Now, in English, you can think of it this way. Xcode, as we saw just now, is built using Apple's own GUI library. So when the screen reader was focused on any of the elements, it was able to go, oh, this is an Apple button. I know Apple buttons have these certain actions. Let me read out those actions. Oh, I'm currently on an Apple toolbar. I know the GUI elements that go inside an Apple toolbar. Let me read those out, and let me read how to best navigate and what actions someone can take on the toolbar. But what if an application was using its own custom GUI library? Things that maybe the screen reader doesn't recognize. Let's see what happens.
UE4 editor. Unreal editor. Unreal project browser window. Unreal project browser window. You are currently on a window.
So, initially this seems fine. Okay, I'm on a window. It announced that. So, all right, this seems promising. Let's try exploring like we did in Xcode. Try to get a feel around. Wow. Yeah, absolutely nothing. The screen reader effectively just goes, I don't know what I'm working with, and just gives up. It can't even say anything. So with the default Mac screen reader as it stands, Unreal Engine is completely inaccessible to someone who is blind or low vision. This is where Project Blindfold comes in. All Project Blindfold is a screen reader that I implemented inside of Unreal Engine. Now, the project is still in kind of an early proof of concept stage and it's pretty bare bonesy, but it should still get the point across to all of you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Project Blindfold to create an Unreal Engine template project and fire up the game editor. Okay? Now, for those of you who want to follow from home visually, you can look for GUI elements that have a white border around them. That's what I'm currently going to be focused on. Now, without further ado, let's fire up Project Blindfold.
S window.
Alright, so I'm currently in a window of some sort. Let's see what's inside the window. Let's start navigating around.
S window title bar.
Title bar, boring.
S game project dialog.
Alright, we're getting somewhere. Let's see, what's next?
Projects S button.
No, not project. I want a new project.
New project S button.
Bingo! Alright, let's hit that. Alright, what's next?
S new project wizard.
That seems promising.
Blueprint S checkbox. Blueprint templates require no programming knowledge.
Awesome. Let's make a blueprint project because programming is hard and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Okay, let's see what's next.
C++ S checkbox. C++ templates.
Oh, we don't need to care about that.
Project templates S tile view.
Okay, so we're in a tile view for project items. Let's see what kind of projects we have.
Rolling S template tile.
Not really feeling like a rolling game. What else do we have?
Side scroller S template tile. This side scroller template features an animated skeletal mesh character with a camera positioned at the character's side.
Alright, I think that's perfect. Let's make a side scroller game. Alright? I'm gonna pop back up to the template tile and we're gonna try and find a way to create this project.
Project templates S tile view.
Alright, what's next?
Selected project details S scroll box.
Nope, can't use that.
Project settings S scroll box. Edit default project settings.
Nope, I don't care about editing default settings.
Create project S button.
Jackpot, let's do it.
Add create project S button. Unreal editor, window. You are
Alright,
currently on a window.
stuff's happening. Do.
My project 20, Unreal editor, window.
There we go. And now, from a completely inaccessible Unreal Engine editor, we have just created a new project without anyone's help. I can't see Jack on screen. Everything is just using Project Blindfold. So yeah, that concludes the demo for Project Blindfold. If you are a programmer or are technically savvy and curious about how I implemented a lot of the functionality inside of Unreal, I will be doing a technical overview video at some point in the future, and once that video is up, I will drop a link down in the description. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching, and remember, be awesome.